Hey scholars, so this video is to help you with your May 19th assignment. We're going to go ahead and wrap up Ibn Battuta and Mansa Musa. And we're going to summarize why they are important to history and specifically Islamic history. So we're going to open this up. It says, scholars, sometimes very important people in history are overlooked for reasons outside of their control. Ibn Battuta and Mansa Musa are two important figures of history who are often overlooked simply because they followed Islam and also because of the way they looked. Much of history is Eurocentric, meaning that it focuses on European values, such as Christianity. I'm going to explain that in a moment. But we, as a school, will not fall into the trap of overlooking important parts of history, and due to that, we must wrap up these two important figures of history. What two important figures? Ibn Battuta and Mansa Musa. So your task, open the document where it says My Work. You're going to read the preview. You're watching a video about Ibn Battuta, and on a graphic organizer, you're collecting two pieces of evidence about his achievements, and you're explaining why those achievements would still be important today, or just honestly important in general. And then you're going to read an article, a really short article, one page about Mansa Musa, and you're going to, again, collect two pieces of evidence related to the achievements of him and explain why they are important. On Wednesday, you're going to be doing a flip grid on which of these two Islamic figures are the most important Islamic figure. So this is scholars. Last week, we learned about Ibn Battuta, the famous Islamic explorer. Ibn is a very important figure in history and is specifically highly regarded in Islamic history. Remember, he was only 21 when he first set out on his pilgrimage to Mecca, and he ended up spending 24 years visiting places all throughout the world. Even today, he's still important for his long journey and the things he did while on that journey. Mansa Musa is another famous figure in the history of Islam. He also originally set out on a pilgrimage to Mecca to engage with his religion. Along the way, he did things that made his name famous and even brought attention to his kingdom around the world. The impacts of Mansa Musa are also very important, specifically in Islamic studies today. Unfortunately, this is very important for you guys to know. Very, very, very important. If this is the biggest thing that I teach you all year long, I hope it's this. Unfortunately, both of these figures are often overlooked in history simply because they weren't European Christians. In the late 1700s, European civilizations became very powerful and took over much of the world. When they did this, they destroyed a lot of the history that came before them to make their own European achievements seem greater. This has impacted how we study today because European history is easy to access, but it's very hard to learn about the history of Africa and other regions of the world that were imperialized or taken over by Europeans. Okay? Very important to know that history is typically focused on European values. It's Eurocentric. And we try to avoid that because other values that came from Islamic people, other values that came from Latin America are very important, and we don't want to forget about that. And that's what I explain here. I wouldn't be doing my job as a social studies teacher if we didn't take the time to really honor the great achievements of all of history. Due to this, we're going to be taking the time to wrap up Ibn Battuta and Mansa Musa's achievements. Tomorrow, we'll be doing a flip grid where you argue which person was more important to the history of Islam. So what is your task? You're going to watch a YouTube video below and read the article about Mansa Musa. Each source wraps up and summarizes the impacts of each person in history. You're going to complete the graphic organizer where you collect two pieces of evidence related to the achievements of each person, and you're going to explain how each piece of evidence would still be important to people, or specifically to Muslims today. So we're wrapping up the importance of these two Islamic figures to argue which one is more important. So I found a video about Ibn Battuta because we didn't watch a video last week. So you open that up, and it's on PBS's webpage. You can watch this video. It explains all of Ibn Battuta's journey. So I know last week the articles that you guys read about Ibn were hard to understand. That's because they're directly from his journal, and the way that people wrote in 1300s is a lot different than the way we read and write today. So I'm hoping that this video explains it a little bit more for you. You can watch this video and collect your evidence from there, or you can collect it from the articles last week. But two things that Ibn Battuta did, two achievements of him, and why they are important to history or to Islam. All right? And then because yesterday you watched a video on Mansa Musa, today you're going to read an article on Mansa Musa. And apparently I'm going to have to give access to this. I definitely can do that. I didn't realize that. So really easy. I can give access to this. I'm actually, you know what I'm going to do? When I post this assignment, I'm going to post it as an attachment instead. You're going to read the article about Mansa Musa in a PDF form, like I usually give. So what you're going to have to do is here, there will be a PDF attached beneath here. You're going to have to click on that, read the article about Mansa Musa, and again, collect two pieces of evidence related to the achievements and explain how those two pieces of how those two achievements are important to history or to Islam. Sorry, that really threw me off right now. I'm going to fix that though, okay? So it'll be all good to go. I'm going to go ahead and fill out one piece of evidence related to Ibn Battuta as a model so you guys know what I'm looking for. You can use this as a reward for watching my video as usual. You definitely need it after seeing what just happened. I also am going to post a clip after this video that shows how to open that document. Wow. So Ibn Battuta, what is one achievement of Ibn Battuta? I'm going to write Ibn Battuta visited every single Muslim kingdom that existed in the world when he took his journey. Notice how that's not like evidence as quotes. I'm not really asking for quotes this time, I guess. You can paraphrase. Just make sure your evidence, your paraphrased evidence is very clear. And the importance of that achievement to history or to Islam. Ibn took the time to learn about how different people practiced Islam, his own religion, so he could be more understanding and spread its values to others throughout the world by writing a journal. I know that's really long, so I'm going to see if I can break it up. Ibn took the time to learn about how different people practice Islam, his own religion. Yeah, I'm going to end it there. And I'm going to write, he did this so he could be more understanding and spread its values to others throughout the world by writing a journal. So again, sometimes guys, review your writing while you're working so that you can clarify it, because that definitely would have been something that if as a teacher I read, I'd be like, whoa, that's a little bit too much for me there. Break it up. Okay, so again, another achievement about Ibn Battuta from this video or from the articles last week, and then two achievements of Mansa Musa. It can be from the video or it can be from the article that I will also post on Google Classroom after I fix that. When you're done, make sure you're pressing this turn in button so that I get the notification that you are finished. And if you need any help, make sure you're joining those Google Meets at 10:30 a.m. or you're reaching out to Mr. Woods or I by email. Good luck, guys, and remember, collect really strong evidence here because you're making a flip grid on Wednesday. Hey, scholars, I wanted to show you how I fixed that issue with the PDF file. So again, this is for your Ibn Battuta and Mansa Musa review assignment. When you get down here to your graphic organizer, remember you're collecting evidence from Ibn Battuta using the video or the articles from last week. For Mansa Musa, you can use the video from the May 18th assignment, or now you can click here on the assignment underneath where the assignment is. There's a PDF article. And there's a short little article you read about Mansa Musa, his achievements. You need two pieces of evidence in the graphic organizer, and then explain why they are important to history or to Islam. Okay, thank you, and I apologize for the issue, guys. Thank you for sticking with me.